too expensive, we're staying at room 13. Usually airy and usually very, and that's just how my life goes. And I don't ever try to dress to impress. Fuck you, preppy asshole. On the 14th floor and a bathroom door don't lie. So happy we don't gotta worry about the cops. We could all get arrested for this, but when the party's mixed, I don't give a shit tonight. Alright. Now she walks in the bedroom fast, despite all the noise from the crowd. Now she's pantless on the bathroom sink. Her mother would be so proud. Gets on the deed and there's a line to go pee, but the bathroom looks like a war zone.
Welcome in to episode 99 of Phired Up. Almost at the century mark. One more week to go. I'm Mike Gilletto. Joining me, as always, is Dom Console. Dom, what's going on, man?
Oh man, I've heard that 99 times already. Or
Yep.
maybe it's more like 95, 94 with the shows that I've missed. But
Here or there.
yeah, we're
exactly.
getting up there. Yeah.
I know, yeah.
We're aging like fine wine over here.
This time 2 years ago, I think we started to kind of get the motions into a concept for the pod. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It was like a week or two before the draft.
Right.
It was like early to mid-April. So we're definitely approaching that.
Absolutely. And as always, we also have Chris Lucia. Chris, what's going on, man?
I was at that point just listening to you guys, not really, driving to work every day. Like, man, this is pretty cool. They're doing a pretty nice job. So 2 years later, now I'm another stenod on the show.
Now you're a part of it. Exactly. Hopefully we
Well,
come
no,
up
I
with
mean
something.
it's been a year and a half, what, a half a year, maybe a little bit more.
A little bit more, right? It
was what, the middle of
Like
summer.
May.
The Sixers.
Okay.
Were the Sixers in the playoffs at that point?
Yeah.
I believe the Sixers were in the
playoffs. What happened was I think the Sixers were just eliminated from the playoffs, and I had all of our writers on
because that was the week I was
And-
off. I was down in the up in the Poconos.
Yes.
Yep.
So it was like May-ish, June. Yeah. So we're almost on a year with you, and I mean it seems like you've been on for 100 episodes with us, and it seems like you've been on like a month. It's so strange how that works. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it is pretty crazy.
Yeah, exactly. And hopefully we come up with some big ideas for episode 100. I have some ideas. We'll talk off air.
So do I. Yep.
So okay, I want to hear them. We'll talk about it. Hopefully we come back a week from tonight, and we have an awesome big show. There's a lot going on. Obviously, a lot of Eagles stuff. Just like Frank Shirley, and hopefully everybody gets this reference. I want Gardner Johnson brought right here with a big ribbon on his head. Christmas Vacation. No, nobody gets the reference.
Yeah. Yep.
Anyway, but before we get into that, I do have to tell everybody about our sponsor. Where did my ad read just go? Hold on.
Uh-oh.
Wow. Uh-oh. There we go.
99 episodes in. 99 episodes in. We're still not prepared.
Oh, no, we are not. Spring is sprung, and our friends at Manscaped have the best tools for some spring cleaning. They've already helped you tidy up the nooks and crannies of your body's basement, but this year, Manscaped can help you get the perfect presentation on that beautiful face with the brand new Beard Hedger Pro Kit. Make sure you look your best this spring by using code FIREDUP to get 20% off and free shipping at manscaped.com. It's time to tame your mane with the Beard Hedger Pro Kit. The sun is peeking back out, which means you'll have to show your face in the daylight again. So use the kit to make sure your scruff looks award-winning, whether you got a glorious beard flow or some smooth, sleek cheeks. The kit starts off with the Beard Hedger, a waterproof cordless trimmer with a rotary wheel that gives you 20 hair cutting lengths, all with one guard, so no more messy drawers full of add-ons. It also comes with the titanium-coated T-blades that are tough on hair but smooth on your face, leading to single-stroke efficiency that brings satisfaction one stroke at a time. The Beard Hedger is a tech piece of art in a travel size package with long-lasting battery, universal charging, and a strong motor. Next, the kit has liquid goods to make you feel good, starting with the beard shampoo and conditioner. You can't treat your beard like you treat your pubes. That's why the kit has a special shampoo and conditioner specially designed to moisturize, reduce ingrown hairs, and replenish your beard's natural oils and promote beard health. The Pro Kit also has Manscaped's Beard Oil. The nutrient-infused oil relieves dryness both on the beard and the skin beneath, while adding a little shimmer and shine to liven up the look. Cap it off with the Beard Balm, a pomade that shapes, styles, moisturizes, bringing the amazing scent of fresh eucalyptus, rosemary, lavender essential oils. Why is Manscaped hitting me with these big words that I can't understand what they do or mean? It doesn't matter. Not to mention the Beard Hedger Pro Kit, Beard Hedger Pro Beard Kit. Also comes with 3 free gifts: a beard brush, comb, and scissors to ensure your beard is ready to impress. Save 20% off and free shipping with the code FIREDUP at Manscaped.com. It's 20% off and free shipping with the code FIREDUP at Manscaped.com. Focus on the face and use the Beard Hedger Pro Kit for the cleanest look in the game. Lots of stuff going on at Manscaped, so check them out. Also,
really quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry. It has nothing to do with Manscaped. Chris, did
Okay.
you just see that fucking that play in the Mexico Japan?
No, I must be behind you.
He robbed a
Wait, let me
homer.
see. No, I'm. What was it? What was the first and second 2 outs?
I don't know. I just saw it on Twitter.
Oh, it must
Incredible. The kid from Tampa. What's his name? The outfielder. He
he
plays
play
for
for-
Mexico.
Mexico. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know who's on Mexico. I'll be honest, I haven't paid attention to like the World Baseball Classic at all, except for what's his name getting hurt and he's out for the season.
Yes.
You haven't been to
I'm
America
talking about
for-
the Mets. I was talking about the Mets closer. What the fuck is his name?
Diaz.
Edwin Diaz.
Edwin Diaz. That's it. Yeah. But yeah, I mean Trey Turner's mashing, which is really nice to see.
Yeah.
Real nice to see.
I just didn't know if you saw that, Chris. That was
No, I
amazing.
didn't. I just turned it on when I came upstairs.
It happened 30 seconds ago.
I must be way behind then. We'll see.
All right.
I don't
Yeah.
know. Right now I have 3-0 Mexico, 2 outs, runner on first and second. That's what
Yeah.
I have. Bottom 6.
Bottom 6.
Yep. All right. Well, we'll get into all that. First, obviously, a lot of Eagles stuff. And I don't really even know where to begin. It was kind of a weird week where like you don't really know, especially the secondary. You really didn't know what was happening. Slay apparently was going to get released, and then surprisingly didn't. Got restructured, signed an extra 2 years. They re-signed Bradbury, which I don't think really anybody saw coming. And then today you get the big one, Gardner Johnson going to the Lions. I'm perplexed. I'm real perplexed. I feel like first I thought coming into the offseason, I thought Gardner Johnson was the number 1 priority. And he's young. He's a damn good player. And I'm not going to lie. I feel a little played with. I feel a little fucked over. I feel like, I feel like she was a little flirtatious with me for the last, couple months. I feel like maybe she let me hit once or twice, you know what I mean? And now I'm getting stood up after that, you know what I mean? I feel like we're getting ghosted here. We're getting left at the altar, and I don't like it. I don't like the feeling that Gardner Johnson has put upon the city of Philadelphia.
Not only are we getting ghosted, did you hear what he just said, that Detroit has a better roster than the Eagles had last year?
I did not see that,
bro.
but he like it's
He's
hard to
such a
believe
Twitter troll.
he is a Twitter troll, and it's hard to believe or trust anything he says because he just talks shit. But he's become my sworn enemy. I hope he blows both his knees out.
Oh.
I'm serious. I hope he blows both his knees out. And his 1 year prove it deal, he doesn't play another snap
You're really
after this year.
upset that he took
Yes.
more money.
Yeah, did he take more money though? Because by all
That's the
accounts,
report.
the Eagles offered him 3 years, $24 million.
Yeah,
by all
but
accounts.
17,
Backloaded.
17 million. Yeah, backloaded. Yeah.
Okay.
So 8 is more than 3.5.
Yeah, but he's
Right.
only got 6.5 guaranteed in
6.5 is still
Yeah.
more than 3.5.
Okay, and then what if he does
No, he's
blow
betting
both
on
his
himself.
then what
Then
if
that's
he does
his
blow both
fault.
his knees? Exactly. That's
But
why I
his
hope
fault.
it happens.
But,
Call me a
but-
shitty
but
person
that-
for wishing injury upon CJ Gardner Johnson.
But-
he is my sworn enemy.
Listen, I am just as upset that he's not here, but we like I think this has to do more with the Eagles. There's reports came out today that said they didn't even offer him a contract when free agency started. They
don't
said
believe
here's
that.
3.5 because you don't want to believe it.
I mean, I get, yeah, probably.
I
The
think
report came out 3.5 this year, 3.5 next year, and then 17 in the final year. He said, "Nope, eight. I have a chance to make $8 million this year and get even more money going into. Maybe I can make more than $24 million over the next 3 years." He's betting on himself, just like a lot of other guys do. Like
he looked really
all
good
around the league.
He looked really good against the top 2 or 3 defense in the league. He's not going to look that good on a Detroit Lions team. Now they're not.
Well, then
bad.
why are you so mad then?
Because I don't know. I just don't, he's an asshole. He's an asshole that I'm fuck him. That's why.
Unfortunately,
but why is it his? But why is it just his fault? Like why isn't this Howie Roseman's fault? Wait, listen. Why is it? Again, I am upset. I'm upset that he's not here, but I'm not going to blame the guy for taking more money and an opportunity to make even more money next year. What I'm saying is, why is the blame solely on CJGJ? Why isn't it on Howie Roseman, who said, you know what, we'll give Bradbury money, we'll give Slay money, but you know what, the best player in our secondary, we're not even going to talk to him in free agency, which was the port.
So, no, I think they tried. I think
what happened was it was backwards, Dom. I think I think they went to CJ Gardner-Johnson first and said, "Hey,
before free agency, absolutely."
And then he said no. And they said, "All right, we're gonna go get Bradbury back then, and then we're gonna go run it back to Slay."
No, absolutely. They went, but sometime in between the Super Bowl and when free agency started, they absolutely picked up the phone and said, "CJGJ, you're our first priority." He said, "I want $1 billion," and they said, "Absolutely not. Here's your offer. We're going to backload it." He said, "No, I think I can make more money even next year, even if it was the 1-year deal." And Howie Roseman said, "This is the best you're going to get." And he said, "No, thanks, but you have until free agency starts." Howie Roseman said, "I'm good," and paid Slay, restructured him, by the way, or added the 2 years rather.
Yeah.
And then gave Bradbury money, which is also fine too, which I like both those guys.
Can we talk about how smart Howie does look that he didn't franchise tag him at that $14 million mark, right? I mean, you would have been paying $14 million for CJGJ. He didn't get
right.
He got 6.5.
Yeah, right. Or yeah.
Do you think the Eagles got the chance to match the 1-year $8 million deal? Do you think they matched it and he still went elsewhere, or do you think they never even offered him the $8 million 1 year?
I don't think they offered him that because I don't know. I'm not sure.
What I think is his Twitter fingers got involved, and he even texted, "The disrespect is real." So when did that "disrespect is real" tweet? Was that
maybe
after? Was that the Eagles? Like they went to him, and you know what I mean? When did that?
That was right after Slay. Right. And I'm sure it was. No, we're not going to offer you that same contract. Yeah, that's just the way that I take it. Listen, I wish he was here, but I'm not going to sit here and bag on the guy for going to make more money somewhere else and possibly make more money next year when Howie Roseman said, "Nah, you know what? I'm good."
Just let me be angry, all right? That's all I have.
You're allowed to be angry.
You're
absolutely allowed to be angry.
I'm angry because you look at all the pieces that they're losing on the on the defense as a whole, and he was a really big part of that. He really was.
Absolutely.
He was crucial in the turnover game. He was a very good part of this defense, and a lot of the defense is gone. What is this team going to look like next year?
I'm not another safety. You're wrong.
Okay.
What I'm saying is you're just blaming CJ Gardner-Johnson
because he could have
Howie Roseman.
Because he
don't know that.
No, he could have been here on a cheaper deal if he truly wanted to win, but he doesn't care about that.
Michael, if I gave you the Michael, if somebody came to you and said, "Here's more money," you're gonna sit here and say, "No, you know what? I'll take less."
$8 million and $7.5 million when you're
they lost half their defense. What do you mean? The Detroit Lions are probably better than this roster anyway. They're going to win the division,
bullshit.
So it doesn't matter.
That's bullshit. Oh, they're going to win the division.
The current defense.
Get the hell out of here.
The Lions are going to win the division.
They sure are.
Sure, okay. That's like winning the AFC South. Sure, somebody's got to win the division.
They lost 8 players on defense, and they brought 2 of them that were over the age of 35.
Oh man. You know what? I had a headache before I started this show, and it's even worse now.
I'm just saying, if they said, "Here's 3.5, and then 17, he could sit here and say, "You know what? I'll take the 6.5 guaranteed or the $8 million that I could possibly make and play even just as good as I did last year and make even more than $17 million in 2 years."
Or he blows out both his knees and we're all happy.
Or he blows out both his knees and he could do that here. And you know what? He'll never play again.
And Reed Blankenship's patrolling the secondary.
And he stinks too.
Well, I'm not willing to say
Marcus
he
Epps stinks, dude.
I'm not willing to say Blankenship stinks. We saw some flashes.
What has he done?
We saw
He's
flashes.
made 3 big
flashes.
tackles.
No, sure.
You guys
but
love these players,
no.
man.
Hold, I didn't say
you
I love
guys
them.
tried to sell me. You guys tried to sell me
I'm
so
fired
hard
up
on Gardner Minshew. Gardner Minshew, Reed Blankenship. Please, you guys sound like Sixers fans.
Justin Evans,
Shake Milton, and Furkan Korkmaz, where they have a huge game, and you guys just love them. Like,
Hold on. Can we slow down?
I'm fired up.
You are fired up. Can we slow down a little bit?
Yes.
Because I did obviously.
That's what she said.
Yes. Now I'm sidetracked. But so we're obviously Garner Johnson's gone. Let's pour one out for his career because he's going to go to a place where they always die. Anyway, so we can move on. Now I want to talk about the replacement, right? We have a feeling Reed Blankenship's on the one side. Who's a safety on the other side? I've heard Jalen Mills thrown out there.
They just signed somebody.
They did sign Justin Evans.
Yeah, Justin Evans.
A very
I don't know anything about
injury-prone safety from
Love
all
that.
accounts is what I've seen. I've seen Jalen
He
Mills.
had a pretty decent year last year.
Yeah, I've seen Jalen Mills' name thrown out there. I'm skeptical because he had once he left, he was pretty damn good in New England. We've seen what Jalen Mills is here. He's just okay. Nothing more, nothing less, I don't think. So I'm skeptical with bringing him back. Or is there somebody currently on the roster? Like, I don't know what the safety position looks like. Or do they draft somebody maybe?
I was just saying, do you think they draft somebody?
Yeah, I don't think they take them at the 10th pick, but at the 30th pick.
Plus, I don't think they sit here and say we'll give Slay money and we'll give Bradbury money, and then they brought in Greedy Williams along with Maddox. You know, they're the 4 cornerbacks. I don't think they bring them in without the idea of maybe possibly drafting a safety.
Yep.
I like the Greedy Williams signing a lot. I do.
I do too. He's your 4th cornerback, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know exactly what the contract was, but I think.
Well, here's the thing though, Don.
Go
He's
ahead.
your 4th cornerback, but theoretically he's your backup outside corner.
Yeah,
In because Avante just can't play the outside. So,
right.
I mean, that means they gave up on Zach McPherson.
Well, I think he's a nickel guy.
And that's also assuming Avante stays on the field for a whole season.
That's true too.
I think you could be right about them giving up on McPherson, but I think they know he's never going to play the outside either. So
Yeah.
that could be that too, or he could just totally stink and they just given up on him. So
Well, that's the thing. You talk about cornerback and I guess secondary as a whole, and you look at the 10th overall pick, and I feel like before they re-signed Bradbury and extended Slay, I feel like cornerback at 10 was a guarantee. Is it anymore? Like, who knows where they go at 10?
They're going to go edge rush, I think. That's where I think.
That's what I was going to say to you guys. So now that the quarterbacks are kind of, there's probably like 4 cornerbacks that could go before that could go before their pick at 10. Does that mean like one of these edge guys maybe or defensive line?
I think
that kind of slips a little bit, and you move up. You move up to 7.
I know. I talked about it with you guys over in our group chat, but like if Jalen Carter's there at 10, he's got some baggage on him. But if he's there at 10, do take him.
Well, honestly, dude, like if they're picking at 10, those 4 quarterbacks go, and what's his name, Anderson from Alabama,
Will Anderson.
he goes. Honestly, like if he's there at 7 or 8. And there's talks about the teams at 7 or 8, 9 that will take Carter. Maybe you do move up. Maybe you do move up to get him.
Yeah.
Depending on the price, obviously.
I know it comes with baggage, but I just think when you're in the position the Eagles are, they lost a lot of guys on defense. You got to hit on number 10 or 8, 9, 8, 7 if you decide to move up. Like you have to hit on that first round pick.
Yeah. I mean, I also, I do think while we're sitting here talking, like, Ndamukong Suh's still out there. I know we're talking about older people, but like he can shore up the defense a little bit. There's some guys out there, like I know you said who's out there at safety still. I know Kevin Byard, like Tennessee does not want to pay that guy. I don't know if we can pay him, but Adrian Amos is still out there from Green Bay and Chicago. He can stopgap a position for 2-3 years just to kind of like fill a hole in there. So I'm just thinking, like, while you guys are talking about the draft, what free agents are still out there too to try and fill some holes.
And I know you're talking about free agents, but really quick, going back to the draft, I honestly, and we kind of saw it last year, where we thought that Hamilton could have been a pick here, and they went Davis, but I maybe they even take a safety in the second round. Maybe they move back with that second pick in the first round, and they go out and get a safety, or they use that second pick in the first round for a safety. I think this defensive line is getting really old, and the best thing you could possibly do is try to draft guys early. Try to draft defensive, the defensive line early. But I don't know much about what's his name. Bird? Did you say?
Yeah, Byard.
Bird, whatever. I know he's a Philly guy, right? He's from the area.
Went to Philly till he was like 14.
Okay.
Then he went down to Atlanta.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know much about him, like play wise and stuff like that, but I don't know. I just want to get younger. I really do. In any way possible, get younger and cheaper. They have 1 million picks next year, so yeah, I don't know.
Yep, fair enough. I did kind of want to talk about the wide receiver position, because Zach Pascal goes to Arizona. Quez is, I guess, still your number 3. What is there a possibility of drafting somebody? Do they go out and sign somebody for a number 3, 4 spot, or are they kind of fine at wide receiver? You think?
I think they're going to draft a receiver in
high. How high do you think? Top 2 rounds, second rounder. You see, maybe
a second rounder, but I also think, like what Dom said, they're going to trade back, I think, and gain some more picks later in the draft. I just can't see them having 2 firsts, 1 second, 1 third, and then 2 sevenths. That's it for this year, right?
Something like that. Yeah.
Something like that. But then there comes a question of, like, we've seen Howie's track record of drafting non-surefire wide receivers in the draft, right? You think about the Arcega Whitesides, you think about the Jalen Ragers, the John Hightowers, like anybody that wasn't a slam dunk other than Devontae Smith, he swung and struck out on. So do we trust him to draft a good wide receiver in the draft?
Get down.
I was gonna say I think we're also kind of forgetting about what Howie Roseman is really good at. When July rolls around, that's when they got C.J. Gardner-Johnson.
Totally,
he can make a trade for a receiver. Totally. That's just kind of what Howie does. I saw it on Twitter today in Madden terms, where the Eagles sign a guy that's a 78 overall, and by December he's an 85 overall. So that is something that Howie Roseman is really good at, finding talent late in the season, finding good deals late in the season. Who knows? Maybe Denver or somebody that has like a lot of receivers that could possibly take a mid to late round. They might say, hey, we'll give you this player or that player. And obviously not a guy like Judy or Sutton, but like, a guy that could play the slot or, something along those lines. I wouldn't mind taking a receiver in the draft in the second or third round, but
at the same time though, Dom, what did Ramsey went for what? A
third.
Fourth?
A third.
Was it a third?
Jalen, third.
So like,
third,
would someone like Sutton, does that only cost you a fourth? Like, what does that look like?
Well, are we going to speak specifically on Sutton or just a guy like Sutton?
Just a guy like Sutton. Like,
okay, because it sounds like Sutton's a slot guy, but yeah. I mean, Sutton's a really underrated he's a good player, but like I don't know. I just think because Sutton holds more value as a receiver than Ramsey as a cornerback. I think Ramsey has fallen off a lot. Cost a lot of money.
Sorry. Wow.
No, you're
Did you
good.
see that slide?
Yeah, that was a. I can't
Holy shit! That was sorry. Go ahead.
No, you're good. But
yeah,
I just think Jalen Ramsey costs $1 billion and has fallen off a lot. I think Sutton has his
He's still a really good player.
Issues.
Ramsey.
Jalen Ramsey?
Yeah, I think
he's a nice player.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's worth his money at this point, but
yeah, maybe.
I think that's why they got a third round pick, because he's cost a lot of money.
No,
Yeah.
totally.
But I don't know.
Totally.
I'm just saying. I think late, just because it's the end of March and they're not making moves. I don't think we need to worry. You know, we don't have to hit the panic button. You know, Harry Roseman's really good at making June and July moves.
Totally, and the NFL offseason is a very long one. So like, because I'm angry now on March, what's today's date? The 20th. 20th. Since I'm angry here on March 20th, doesn't mean it's going to be a miserable offseason. I still think they're, even with the turnover they've had on defense, I still think they are a top team in the NFC. Like, Jalen Hurts is by far, assuming Rodgers does go to the AFC, which I don't think is complete yet, is it?
No, it's not complete yet.
Assuming he goes to the AFC, Jalen Hurts is by far the best quarterback in the NFC. By far. So I do think there's still a contender to win the NFC, because as long as you have the best quarterback, you have a good chance of going. But just because I'm angry now doesn't mean it's going to be a bad offseason. I will say that.
Yeah. And also I don't think we can expect them to do what they did this year either, record wise. Like
Dak is not the best.
No. I'm just saying.
No. I was reading the comment. Come on, man. Dak is the best. Dak is not the best. Dak might not be top 3 in the NFC.
But no, I don't expect them at this point right now to be, what were they, 14-3 or whatever they were? Like, yeah. I just don't. With the current roster, obviously things can change. I don't think it's going to be drastic enough to where, like the C.J. Gardner-Johnson trade last year, like happened right before training camp, and we were like, oh, that's a nice move, and then it turned out to be a great move.
Totally.
So like, going into the season, I'm not sure how I'll feel, but I still think they could compete for a Super Bowl. I don't know if they're the 1 seed that wins 14 games again, but and I think they have a pretty favorable schedule next year, like a pretty. I thought it was
pretty tough schedule next year.
Was it tough? I from what I don't remember off the top of my head.
You normally get a tougher schedule when you win
the
Super Bowl.
Yeah, but you only play like 1 or 2 teams now that are
right. I know they play the
Chiefs. Same record.
I know they play the Chiefs this year.
They play in Kansas City. Yes.
Yep.
They play that division, I think.
Yep. So
no, they played them this year.
No.
Right?
No.
Yeah, they played Indy. I'm sorry. Indy's not in that division.
No, it's Kansas City, Denver,
right.
L.A.
They played them 2 years ago.
Oh yeah, you're right.
They do play Kansas City in Kansas City, but they don't play that division.
Yeah, they did play them 2 years ago. You know what we haven't talked about in a while, that because of free agency? What are they going to pay Jalen Hurts? Is that just like...
Yeah, honestly, are we surprised that hasn't happened yet? Or do you think he's just worrying about free agency and we'll get to that number when we get it? Or, my guess is they already have a number in their mind that they know they're going to have to pay him, and when they're done filling out the roster, then they'll give that to him.
That's what I'm thinking.
You think it's done this year, Dom?
I think if it will get done this year, I think they know, like what Mike said, I think they know what they're going to give him. If it does happen,
Do you think it's below or above my over/under 48.5 per year?
Less.
I think it's less than that.
Yep.
It's tough. I don't know.
I think he's going to be like 45.
45.
That's where I think he'll be.
Okay.
I do think
I just look at the Daniel Jones contract, and how do you even get close to it's got to be much more than that. If I'm Jalen Hurts, I hand my stats next to Daniel Jones' stat. Here you go. It should be much more than that contract.
I think. Yeah, I think he knows he's gonna get paid, because at this point in the season, or at this point in the offseason, you got the reports that come out like Jalen Hurts is not happy that he doesn't have a contract. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So he's gonna sit out this year, things like that.
So I think he's the type of player mentally where I don't think he would sit out anyway.
Yeah,
I guess you never know, but he just seems like a gamer. I don't know.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think he would sit out either.
I think every single player in the NFL is not going to risk their body if they feel like they deserve what they deserve.
Well, that's the only reason I think Hurts wants to get paid now, especially with how he plays the game. He plays the game. When if they don't have it started by the season, the money starts coming down probably as the season starts, unfortunately for him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they also don't have to pay him this offseason. I mean,
they don't.
That doesn't mean it won't happen.
if they didn't want to. I mean, if they didn't want to, they could just franchise tag. But
Yeah, I don't think they want to go down that road though.
no, I don't think so either.
Anytime you
They
franchise
paid
somebody, it can
Wednesday.
get very messy. Anytime
Yeah.
you franchise somebody.
They paid Wentz early too. They paid him after his third year. So
And we see how that happened. Maybe they're
Right.
being a little cautious with this one.
yeah,
You know what I mean? Speaking of the quarterback position, obviously Gardner Minshew goes. Where did he sign? Why am I drawing a blank?
Indy.
Indianapolis, because that's where all backup quarterbacks of the Eagles go. And they bring in Marcus Mariota. Finally, he's an Eagle, right? After what draft was that? 2015.
2015, yeah.
2015 draft where Chip Kelly was trying to trade up for him. Finally, he's an Eagle after all. And what do we think about this move? He's a backup quarterback. He's probably a fine, nice backup quarterback.
He's probably the best in the league.
I think so.
He might be better than Gardner Minshew, right?
I
Probably.
think
He
he's better than Daniel Jones.
he might be.
He might
Honestly,
be. Right. So are we in favor of that backup move then?
I think it's a good.
Yes.
I think it's a good deal.
Oh, yeah.
also
I mean,
too because you need a guy. We saw it last year. We saw it the last 2 years. Jalen Hurts missed 2 or 3 games in the last 2 years. You know, like if you need a guy to go out and win a game,
Chris was talking about his style of play that
right.
that's what happens. He tends to get hurt.
Right. So I think Mariota's a nice guy that could go out there and get you a win or two. I don't think Gardner Minshew was that guy. I said that last year. So
What was the Mariota deal? 1 year, 5?
I don't know.
Sounds right. Hold on,
Go
let's see if
up
I
to
have it.
8,
Yes,
would
1
it?
year, $5 million. Yep.
And it could go up to 8 with incentives. I think
I don't have that down.
he's going to make $1 million less than Brandon Graham. Isn't that crazy? Brandon Graham.
Yeah.
It's the easiest job in the world.
Brandon Graham.
What, backup
really
quarterback?
did-
Yeah.
Brandon Graham really did give Philadelphia a hometown discount. Like,
Yeah.
He really, really did. That dude, 2 years ago, I really liked the guy, but now I'm like he's starting to become like one of my favorites of all time.
One of the
that's
most beloved
Yeah.
Philadelphia sports athletes.
Yeah.
I know.
It's a nice callback. But like I said a couple weeks ago when we were talking about players that were going to leave or stay, like I think Brandon Graham was going to retire an Eagle. I don't think he's going to put on another uniform at all.
Yeah, but
I think
for
it's
him,
like him and Kelsey.
Yeah.
but Mike, for him to then like say, hey, we're going to bring the core back, and then the core around him gets paid. The core around him gets paid 1 year 14.25 and 1 year 10. Like Kelsey got 1 year 14.25 and Cox gets 1 year 10, and you're like, I'm good with 1 year 6, even though I had a better year than Fletcher. But
Do we think 1 year 10
And a
for
better agent.
Fletcher?
and a better
Do we think 1 year 10 million for Fletcher is a discount? Because that's what they're calling it. Apparently, he got better offers. That seems like a lot of money for Fletcher Cox.
He had a really good year.
I know he did. I know, but like you saw what happened. 2 years ago, he wasn't all that productive, and this year he was very good around a very good supporting cast. So if you
and
take
not
those,
to
if
mention
you,
fresh legs. He was
and
constantly
fresh
getting
legs, but if you take a guy,
That's like Brandon Graham too.
yeah, but
Yeah,
if you
no,
take,
you're right.
if you take a
Absolutely.
guy away from him, like Javon Hargrave, who was a tank and a beast inside, you take that away from him. Is he as productive?
I mean,
Well, okay. Go ahead, Chris.
No, I was going to say we'll see.
My thing here is I think that they. All right, let's start on the outside. I think Reddick. I think Reddick not only had this great year, but he also provides the ability for Brandon Graham to come off, take rest, take a couple plays off, and be even better and fresh to go for the next drive. I think that now going into the inside, I think they are real. And I think I said this in our group chat. I think they're really hoping Jordan Davis takes a big leap this year. To make up for Hargrave. They'd rather pay Slay. They'd rather pay Bradbury. They'd rather have tried to get C.J. Gardner-Johnson back. They'd rather move this money around in other places, put it in other places, to hope that this first-round pick last year is productive. And I think they just said, you know what, Javon Hargrave, you're a good player. You're 30 years old. We're going to go in younger. We're going to go with our younger core and hope that he's the guy. I think that's kind of what they're trying to do here. Put him next to Fletcher Cox, a guy that knows how to play the game, be a leader, teach this kid how to play, play at this level. So I think they're really good. I think they could draft a guy like you said earlier, if Carter's there, and they want to take him. I mean, it's a no brainer. But they love defensive line, so
Totally. There's still a couple departures and arrivals that we haven't really discussed yet. Obviously, Miles Sanders goes to Carolina. We kind of saw that coming all season. He wasn't going to resign. They just weren't going to give him the contract he was deserving. So they bring in Rashad Penny. Sorry, go ahead.
So he reunites with Deuce.
Yes, correct. I think Carolina is a really good spot for him. I do.
He's going to be doing the same, like him and Chuba are going to at least split carries. I don't think it's going to be like you're the lead back.
I agree.
Yep. And Carolina's making moves. You know, they have the first overall pick now, right? So,
yep.
And then who they just signed was Adam Thielen. So I mean, they're trying to build. They're trying to build something.
They're going to draft a quarterback too.
Yep.
Yeah, but the only problem is they traded the most underrated wide receiver in football.
The most underrated wide receiver in football.
Dom's favorite player. So they bring in Rashad Penny. Who I think is a nice little player. He's got some injury concerns, but he had a few really, really nice years in Seattle. I'm curious as to kind of what the backfield is going to look like in terms of like splits. Is it just kind of? I mean, it's obviously going to be committee, but I'm curious as to who leads in attempts. Is it Gainwell? Is it Penny? Who knows?
I think that they could possibly draft a guy. I mean, I know we keep saying this about every position, but I really could see them drafting a guy in like the third, fourth round and just adding him in the mix, kind of like Gainwell. So
just
his rookie year.
Real quick to throw onto both of your radar, Bijan Robinson is in Philly right now.
Okay,
interesting.
So he did post on his Instagram story like that he's in Philly in a picture of the Eagles Stadium.
Interesting.
So at least
bringing him in for a little workout.
At least the Eagles are definitely in on an interview.
Yep.
So
doing their homework at least.
Yep.
Which is interesting in itself because even if they don't draft him, the fact that it shows how Rosen may be a little bit interested in drafting a running back that high goes against everything I know about Howie Roseman.
Yeah. And so to be honest with you, like that doesn't excite me that much because 2 years ago we saw Jordan Howard average 5 yards a carry behind this offensive line. So like, I don't think they need to take him in the first round. You know what I mean? Like, I just think they could go other positions and they could draft another guy and they can ride this running back core out. You know,
it is much easier to run behind an offensive line who's a top flight offensive line in football, and I guess it's a good transition.
JoJo Romero appearance, former Philly JoJo Romero.
I like that.
Sorry,
going against Ohtani too. But it's a good transition offensive line. They lose Sayamalu now. I mean, I guess who can we? Is that Jurgen's spot?
They could draft a guy. No, I'm just kidding.
they could definitely draft a guy. That's an option.
I think it is Jurgen's spot.
Go get Zeke. I think Zeke's done.
I think it's going to be great for Jurgens to play that guard position, just to be out there with those guys to get that game experience, and like Kelsey can groom him while he's like next to him. I think that's
right next to Kelsey. Yep.
I think that's even better.
But if Jurgens isn't ready or doesn't impress when he gets to that spot, then who? Then what? Then I think you have an issue.
Driscoll could play guard, right?
They are. If I had to bet any money, they're going to take offensive line in this draft. So maybe they hit on.
And as long as they go to Stoutland University, we're good.
Even if it's a 6th round pick, they're going to draft.
They'll draft another rugby star.
Howie Roseman cannot help himself. And don't get me wrong, I love offensive line. Like they're one of the most important positions in the league. You know.
What do we say this whole show? They will draft somebody.
Yeah, right.
They'll draft
somebody.
What about linebacker?
We'll draft. Watch them draft a punter too, because they need a punter.
What about linebacker?
Linebacker's interesting because you lose because they're white. You lose T.J. Edwards. Nakobe Dean's going to get a lot more playing time, I think.
Sean Bradley.
Yeah,
just draft a guy.
We're going to draft a guy.
Davion Taylor's still in the practice squad, right?
He stinks.
God forbid.
He is awful. Is he still? He probably is still on the
I think
practice
he is
squad.
on the
He
practice squad.
stinks.
Is Colorado? He went to Colorado, right?
Yeah,
Are they Pac-12?
yeah,
Oh God,
sure are.
I'm so anti Pac-12. It's not even funny.
Well, they took that was who they else did they take that year? Was that the Jalen Rager and Jalen Hurts year? Yeah,
Ugh.
they hit on one draft pick out of that whole year because it was Rager, Hurts, Taylor, Quez Watkins, John Hightower, Kayvon Wallace.
And
And
they drafted the offensive lineman, the Prince. What's his name?
Prince Tegawalu.
Yeah.
And at the time, the most confusing pick of the draft was Jalen Hurts,
Jalen
Yeah,
Hurts.
yep.
and it was the only one that hit that panned
Yep.
out. It's
Yep.
crazy. It's crazy how those things work. Anything else you guys want to talk about Eagles before we move on here? I think we pretty much covered all the additions and subtractions. I think.
Well, if we didn't, they'll draft them to
Well, yeah,
Right. Exactly.
They'll draft a guy. So all right, so I know we've been teasing it for the last couple weeks, but you guys ready to bring back some Philly sports Jeopardy?
Let's do it.
I am.
All right, so I know last time we had Purdy. That's not really relevant. So give me a code word. You just want to say Philly, or you guys just
What's Danny Briere's son's name?
Carson?
Carson.
Yeah, we should go Carson.
Carson.
All right, let's go Carson.
He's in the news for not good things, but let's go with Carson.
Yes.
All right, that's fair enough. All right, let me get the board here set and ready. So I'll give you the categories. Number 1, jersey math. So I'm going to give you the two guys, and you got to give me the number that those two jerseys out
What?
to.
Whoa.
Listen, I got to do some math. I figured it'd
What?
be fun. I figured it'd be fun. All right, we'll see how it goes.
Japan just tied the game.
Wow.
Wow, did they really?
Yep.
Wow.
Sergio Romero just gave up a bomb.
It two strikes too.
Okay, so jersey math, colleges, records and awards, trades, and hodgepodge was just miscellaneous. Those were actually done by me, though. It's not friend of the show, Doug, so you could
All right,
be
Chris.
a little thankful there.
Do we want to kind of come together and either just get the jersey math out of the way or do it last?
Let's do it last.
Okay.
Okay, and are we playing by the real Jeopardy rule? If you get one wrong, am I subtracting points this time? I didn't do that last
Let's
time.
do what we did. Whatever you want to do. I don't care.
I don't know. Whatever you guys want.
No.
No subtraction. All right. Okay, fair enough. All right, so who wants to go? All right, how about I'm thinking, should I write a number?
I won last time. I should go first.
Okay, all right, Dom. Dom goes first then. There you go. With Dom,
right.
which way do you want to go here?
We'll do colleges for 3.
Colleges for 3. That's a little interesting. All right, let's do it. Eric Snow went to this Big Ten school.
Eric's.
Okay.
Uh,
Name a Big Ten school. I don't know.
Carson.
Okay, Dom.
Ohio State.
Incorrect.
Carson.
Chris.
Michigan State.
Michigan State is the correct answer. All right, there you go.
It snows in Michigan.
I'll go trades 300.
All right. Trades for 300. In 2009, in the 2009 trade for Cliff Lee, the Phillies also acquired this position
Carson.
player. Dom.
Ben Francisco.
That is correct. Who is Ben Francisco? All right, Dom, let me give you your points there. All right, Dom, where are you going?
We will go. What's the last line again? Last column?
Hodgepodge. It's miscellaneous.
Okay. We'll go hodgepodge for 200.
Hodgepodge for 200. Phillies pitcher who learned to throw left-handed after he broke his right arm as a child. No guesses?
Carson.
Dom.
Real Cormier.
No, incorrect.
Are they Connor Brogdon?
Incorrect. It is Billy Wagner. Which makes sense because he had a very awkward, weird throw.
Yeah.
All right, Dom.
We'll go colleges again for 200.
Colleges for 200. All right. LaShawn McCoy went to this university. Chris.
Pittsburgh.
That is correct. University of Pittsburgh. Hold on, Chris. I didn't give you your 2 points. There you go.
Records and awards 200.
Records and awards for 200. This Phillies outfielder and sportscaster was inducted into the
Carson.
national. Chris.
Uh,
Uh-oh.
wait. It's Whitey, but what's it? Richie Ashburn.
Correct. Reggie Ashburn. He almost shit the bed on that one. All right, let me give you your points. All right, Chris, go ahead.
College is 500.
Why is this thing not working? Hold on. Oh, there we go. I was hitting the wrong button. That would help. College is for what was it? 100? 500. Uh-oh, we're going big here. Former Flyers winger John LeClaire went to this school.
Shit, I know this.
Carson.
Shit.
Chris.
Boston University.
Incorrect.
Carson. I don't know. BU.
Nope. That would be
Vermont.
It is Vermont. University of Vermont. Yup.
I knew it was over there too.
Yep,
Fuck, I knew that.
It was a New England school. Yeah, that was a big one too. That would have put you in the lead.
College is 400.
College is 400. Ryan Howard went to this school.
Carson.
Chris.
University of Missouri.
Do I count?
You're right.
Missouri State University. Is that the same thing?
No, that's not the same thing.
It's not the same thing, right? I would say
University of Missouri is different than Missouri State.
That's what I would think. Yeah, I would say that's.
I was going to say Stanford or something. I was way off.
Yeah. Yes, you were. All right, Chris.
Finish colleges out.
College is 100. Deshaun Jackson went to this university.
Carson.
It was a fucking tie. Who said that first? I need you to be honest. That was so close.
I was saying I couldn't get the word out.
No, you started. You started to say
Carson.
You started to say it first, so I'll give it to Dom.
Okay. Cal.
Correct, Cal. All right.
I couldn't get the word Carson out.
You started to say Carson first. I will give you that. All right, Dom.
All right. So we're done with colleges. We'll do trades for 100.
Trades for 100. The Phillies traded for this pitcher at the 2008 trade deadline.
Carson.
Chris. What'd you say?
Blanton.
That is Joe Blanton. Correct.
They technically that's a bad question. They technically got him through waivers.
They did.
After the trade deadline.
Did they?
Do better.
Yeah,
they sure did.
I literally Googled the Phillies trades and Joe Blanton getting traded came up. Are you sure he wasn't a waiver deadline or a waiver trade?
It was in August. It was definitely after the deadline.
Yeah, but you could still, if players got placed on waivers, you could still trade for them.
Right. I think that's what it was.
Yeah.
Austin Barnes playing for Mexico.
Records and awards 300.
Records and awards for 300. This Sixer won the Sixth Man of the Year award in 2001. Chris, Dom.
Aaron McKee.
That is Aaron McKee, correct. All right.
We'll go trades for 5.
Uh-oh. It's a big question here.
Yeah, it can either help me or really hurt me.
In 2009, the Eagles traded a first-round pick, fourth-round pick, and sixth-round pick to the Buffalo Bills for this player.
Carson.
Dom.
Hall of Famer. Future Hall of Famer. Jason Peters.
That is correct. That's a big fucking question for you. 1,200 to 800. All right, Dom, you are in control.
We'll go Hodgepodge for 4.
Hodgepodge for 400. The last year of hip-hop was the 76ers mascot.
Carson.
Dom.
2012.
Incorrect.
2017.
Incorrect. Dom was so close. 2011.
11. I actually thought it was closer to 2017. When I said 2012, I was like, oh, maybe it was like 2016.
No, 2011.
But
man, Franklin's been the mascot for 11 years.
Yeah.
Yo, really funny thing real quick about I don't know if it was hip hop or Franklin. My brother-in-law went to the Sixers game once and he came up to him and he started like bothering him. So he's like, oh, because like, apparently the guy that's in the suit is a Knicks fan. So he starts saying like, oh, you're a Knicks fan or whatever. 5 minutes later, he came back with silly string and silly just like crushed him with silly string. But all right, we'll go records and awards for 100.
All right. This Eagles holds the record for most amount of passing yards in one game, Chris.
Bolsey.
That is one Nick Foles, correct. I'll give you the points for that. All right. You're just leaving Jersey Math for the end, huh? Trades 400. Ooh, wrong button there. All right. In the deal that sent Scott Rowland to St. Louis, the Phillies received Bud Smith, Mike Timlin, and this infielder.
Wow, Mexico really coming back here.
Carson.
What was that, like 01?
Chris.
Placido Blanco?
It is Placido Polanco.
Oh, okay. I thought he was in Detroit and then went back to Detroit after the Phillies.
And Chris takes the lead.
I was gonna say Polanco.
We have a battle here.
Let's go Hodgepodge 500.
Hodgepodge 500. This one is a wacky one. I'm not gonna lie. The number of times Allen Iverson uses the word practice in his infamous press conference. Dom.
14.
Incorrect.
Fuck.
21.
That's so close. 22. 22. So close.
Missouri State.
I know. So close. A couple real close. All right, what do you got?
Let's go records 400.
Records and awards for 400. He holds a Phillies record for most amount of RBIs in a single game with 9.
Carson.
Chris.
Is this Schmitty?
It is not.
Carson.
Dom.
I'm gonna go Ryan Howard.
No. It's
He just hit a lot of home runs.
That is the era. Jason Worth.
Okay.
Really?
Yep.
I kind of remember that now.
Yeah, 9 in one game is a fuckload. I will say that. All right, Chris, you are still in control.
Records 500.
All right. He holds the Flyers' all-time record for penalty minutes.
Carson.
Dom.
Dave Schultz.
It is not Dave Schultz.
Not Dave Schultz. Ah, I know this.
No shot for me.
No. Pass. You probably know the player, I would guess. I just take a guess.
Bobby Clark.
It is not Bobby Clark, no. Dom, who do you think it is?
Is it Tockett?
It is Rick Tockett, yep.
Fuck. It's the second time that happened to me.
Yep. Yeah, it is.
Trades 200.
The Flyers traded James Van Riemsdyk for this Toronto player.
Carson.
Dom.
Oh, which brother is it? Fuck. Luke Shen.
It is Luke Shen, yep.
I almost said Braden Shen.
That would have been bad.
Right. We'll go Hodgepodge for 3.
Hodgepodge for 300. All right. Before relocating to Philadelphia, the 76ers were originally founded in Syracuse, New York, under this name.
Oh, shit. I know this one, too.
Stumped you guys with this one, huh?
This should have been the 500.
You think so?
This is a tough one. I know it, too. As soon as you're going to say it, I'll know it. Or if Chris knows it.
I have no clue. I'm going to go Carson Bullets.
No.
That's Washington. That was the Wizards before they were the Wizards. Shit. I don't know.
No guess?
No.
It's funny. When you said Washington, I thought you were going to remind yourself of the name. It is a current team that plays in Washington.
Oh.
Nationals.
Okay.
They were the Syracuse Nationals.
I'm not that upset about it. I thought I would know it, like once you said it.
Right.
But it didn't sound familiar.
No, you did not. All right. Who had control? Is it still Chris?
Just 100.
100. You guys are saving the Jersey Math for the end. I thought you guys would hit that out early. All right. The Sixers drafted this player second overall in the 2010 NBA draft.
Carson.
Dom.
Fuck. Evan Turner.
It is Evan Turner, correct.
I couldn't remember if his last name was Evans or if his first name was Evan.
Yeah. So
it just got in there that hit.
Dom is up 1,500 to 1,300 heading into the last category, Jersey Math.
I'm just going to go in order.
You guys are overthinking these jerseys. The players I put on here, I don't think is that tough. But we'll see.
The math.
100. Right. The math part's the hard part.
100, you said?
Yep.
Terrell Owens and David Akers.
Carson.
Dom.
83.
It is 83, correct. See, I started off easy. That was an easy one.
All right, 200.
200, all right. Eric Lindros and Simone Gagne.
Carson,
Dom.
100.
It is 100, yep. All right.
All right, go ahead. 300.
300. Chase Utley and Randy Wolf.
Oh, boy. Carson,
Dom.
72.
No.
Fuck.
49.
Incorrect. It is 69. Dom was pretty close.
Okay. I thought he was like 46, maybe. Randy Wolf. You know. All right, 400.
400. Jeremy Macklin and Reno Mahe.
Oh, my God.
All right, maybe I throw this category out the window next time.
I just don't know Reno Mahe's number.
Is it
What position did he play?
101?
It is not 101.
What position did he play?
He's a special teamer.
Kick return?
Yeah, but like, was he a cornerback or a receiver?
I don't know. I don't even remember.
Because that like
That
changes
helps
my
you.
answer.
Yeah, right.
I thought he was 83, but that's not right.
I don't know. It's 92. I don't know.
No, it is 52.
What number's Reno Mahe?
I'm gonna look it up. 34.
Okay, so he's probably a cornerback or a running back.
All right, so one
All right.
question left. Dom up 500. This is basically to tie.
To tie the
I don't-
game.
I don't even have a tiebreaker. I didn't even think of one. Maybe it's for these. I should start thinking of tiebreakers. All right, you guys ready?
Let's see.
Yep.
JJ Redick and Dikembe Mutombo.
Mhm.
Carson,
Dom.
69.
Incorrect.
I'm going to go with 84 and a half.
And if that is incorrect, it is 72. Dikembe Mutombo was 55.
I thought he was 52.
55.
Damn.
God dang, Missouri State.
that probably fucked you up.
Vermont.
Yeah. So all right. So for next time, I'll throw out the Jersey math category. You guys did not like that at all. I thought that was
Actually,
gonna be
it
a lot
wasn't
more
that
fun.
bad. I actually kind of liked it a little bit.
Because I didn't throw out like impossible Jersey numbers. Like
Yeah,
those
right,
numbers
right.
are
Makes you
gettable.
think.
I mean,
Yeah.
Dikembe Mutombo was tough, but like you
Randy
thought about it
Wolf
longer.
was harder than Dikembe Mutombo.
You think so?
Reno Mahe was the hardest.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. All right. Well, anyway, Dom is victorious.
It's 2-0, Dom.
2-0.
There you go.
exactly. But we'll bring
Maybe I
this
should.
back.
Maybe I
in
should.
the
Maybe I
summer.
should go to what the fucking the bar. What's that called?
I have no clue
What?
what you're talking about.
Trivia.
Oh, Quizzo.
Quizzo. Yeah.
If it's all Philly sports, maybe you'd be good,
Yeah.
good at it. There you go. So yeah, I mean, what else you guys want to talk about? Phillies? We got Phillies.
Listen,
starts in
man,
a couple
we-
weeks.
We got episode 100 the week of opening day. I'm so fucking excited. It's not even funny.
Is that the week opening day?
Next week. Yeah, next Thursday.
I thought it was like the first week of April.
No, it's the March 30th.
No. Oh, is okay. Yeah, it would be then.
Next
All right,
Thursday.
Interesting. That is. You know what? That is a good thing then. I'm excited. I'm excited for this this season. Hopefully, we still don't know what the deal is with Bryce Harper and how long he's out for. But this lineup is gonna mash. That's just what's gonna happen. I'm excited.
And also too, like, they got better defensively with Turner. I know he wasn't the best defensive shortstop out there. I think the other guys like Correa and drawing a blank of the other Swanson and who's the other guy?
Xander.
Who's out there? Xander. I think all three of them are probably a little bit better defensively, but I think all around Trey Turner was the best shortstop, might be the best shortstop in the league. I think people forget, like, this dude averages over 300, I think, for his career. Like, this, or in the 290s at least, he is I think people just don't realize because we're coming off a World Series and he wasn't on that team that just how good this guy is and how much he could help this team.
He hits for average. He hits all over the park. He has.
He
pop.
steals bases.
He steals bases. He does everything.
They said that he may steal 50 bases this year.
He might. With the new rule, he actually might.
50's
Yep.
like I know what the new
And the
rule.
bigger bags.
I know what the new rules may like. What are his stolen base numbers throughout his career? Has he ever been close to 50?
Last year or the year before, I think he was in the 30s, possibly.
Yeah,
if I'm not mistaken.
Now, all right. So dating back to 2015, well, he only had 27 games played. All right. So 2016, he had. Where the hell did the stolen base numbers just go? Hold on. I thought they were there. They were not.
So, oh shit, yeah, no. So I got them right here.
I got them now. So dating back 2015, he had 33, 46, 43, 35, 12, 32, 21, 11, 27. So last year he did have 27, the most that he's had since 2021. But he also doesn't seem like the same base stealer as he was in his first few years in Washington. But with the new rules, maybe he gets back to those numbers. Maybe.
Yeah.
Plus, was he leading off in the Dodgers? Was he
was not.
I was thinking it was Mookie, right?
Or you might have been. No, you know what? I'm trying to think when I went to the game because he had a triple when I went to the Dodgers game last year. I think he was either first or second. I don't remember.
It's him or Mookie. I couldn't remember which one was one or two.
Yeah. I think Mookie might have led off and Turner might have been second. Freeman hit third. But yeah, I mean
that plays a role in stealing bases, right?
Yeah,
I know as much
absolutely.
as it does, but it definitely does.
It doesn't anymore. Like I don't know. I feel like baseball's more like that is the mindset of like the traditional old school mentality. I don't know if people think of that nowadays. I agree with you, but I don't know if it necessarily matters now.
Yo, his 2021 numbers are kind of stupid. Led the league in hitting. Led the league in stolen bases with 32. Led the league in average, hit 328. 77 RBIs, 28 home runs for a shortstop. That probably led off most of that year. He's really
That's
really
a COVID
good.
year, right?
Yeah. 2021 is the year after.
The year after, yeah.
Okay.
It's almost like he was, an MVP candidate for a reason that year.
He was fifth in MVP voting.
Fifth in MVP voting, yeah.
Isn't that crazy?
Yep.
That is
I mean,
crazy.
I don't know. I don't know who won. I'm not sure.
I could look it up. Hold on.
Yeah,
it
was Harper.
MVP. It was Harper year.
Yeah. All right, never mind. I take that back.
Harper, Soto, Tatis, Crawford, and Turner was 5.
Nah, Turner didn't deserve it.
Wait, Crawford?
Brandon Crawford.
What Crawford? Brandon Crawford?
Yeah.
Was fourth?
Yep.
In MVP voting?
Correct.
What in the world?
Had less, let me see. Had less runs scored, less hits, less home runs, more RBIs, less stolen bases, more
Better
walks,
hair.
less average, better hair. All that gets you a higher MVP voting than Trey Turner. There you go.
It's because Gabe was his manager.
Yep.
You guys are always hating on Gabe Kapler.
Oh, Mexico. Oh, Mexico.
Out of the plate.
Oh.
Sorry,
Yeah, why not? They still scored.
Yeah.
Man, Mexico destroyed United States last time they played, though.
Yeah.
Did they? So I haven't
Yeah.
paid really much attention because
It's like
I
12-5.
I don't know. I don't really
Yep.
care. Should I care more about the WBC than I do? I don't know.
I think it's a lot of fun.
I think it's cool this year, just because so many players are playing.
It's cool to see
And, like,
Phillies.
Yeah.
Yeah, the other day, I think it was Schwarber, Real Muto, Turner back to back. Like they batted
7,
like
8, 9.
6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah.
Yeah. Dude, I was getting on Buzz in Disney World and I saw the Trey Turner Grand Slam. I was like, they're like putting me in my fucking seat and I'm like watching the Grand Slam. Like, holy shit.
Got your Captain America shirt on.
What's that?
Was that moment bigger than what was it? Oshi's goal?
Well,
Probably
I
not.
don't know. Yeah, like Oshie was like an
Olympics.
Olympics. I feel like that's a bigger
Yeah,
deal than
yeah,
the World Baseball
yeah.
Classic. And it was awesome because he just kept going. Like because the shootout rules
Right.
in the Olympics, after your original 3, you could just keep going. You could wrap. So he was literally going up there every time against.
Yeah.
I think it was Sergei Bobrovsky. Against the Russians, and just kept scoring like at will. Just kept scoring. Just put the team on his back, and then they ended up winning. So I would say that was probably a bigger deal.
I think just the Olympics in general. I think that's what makes it bigger too.
Right? Yeah.
But
But
no, I think the WBC is a lot of fun. It's really cool to see like I said, 3 Phillies playing with Arenado, Goldschmidt, Mookie Betts, like Trout, like all the best players in the world playing together.
I just see a lot of the drama about like all the injuries and quote unquote meaningless or not meaningless. It's just there's a lot of drama surrounding this year's WBC.
Did you guys see what Edwin Diaz said?
No.
That it was the most meaningful game. That like he didn't mind.
A lot of these guys really care. Yeah.
Yeah. He said that it was the most meaningful game he's ever played in his career. Like what's that?
Especially. Yeah, but like especially for these guys that probably like grew up in Puerto Rico and didn't have anything.
Poverty.
Yeah, like and they get to represent their country.
Yeah, we definitely take it for granted here.
Plus he's a Met, so he's not used to the big moment.
That's what I was getting at.
And he was a Seattle Mariner before that, so he definitely didn't have that.
It is funny that like before the season even starts, the Mets are already metting. Like they're already mid-season form. Edwin Diaz gets hurt from celebrating, and then I think Brandon Nimmo got hurt sliding into second or something. Like it's a mess over there before the season even starts.
Yeah,
it's great.
But yeah, fuck them, right? It is weird though, like the weird injuries.
GJ roots for them, Mike.
Does he? Good. He could go fuck himself too. No, it is weird though. It's funny to me that like the weird injuries baseball players get. Like you don't see in any other sport a guy just is celebrating and gets hurt, and it happens like frequently.
Or motorcycle accidents.
Or motorcycle accidents.
We're playing soccer in the outfield.
Fernando Tatis Jr. with the motorcycle accident. The funniest.
Ryan Madsen when he kicked the chair.
Dude, one of the funniest ones to me was a few years ago. I think it was like 3-4 years ago. Salvador Perez was like carrying luggage down steps and like tore his ACL. Like how? Like what? They're the most like uncoordinated athletes in the world.
From the tattoo that he got like poisoning from a tattoo.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense. Baseball players' bodies are just weird.
It's the funniest thing in the world because it's the single hardest thing to do in sports is to hit a baseball.
So their bodies just aren't built for it for some reason.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah. Except Bryce Harper. His body's just different.
Yeah.
So, a little Phillies news. Do you guys see the Phillies release Mark Appel?
Yes.
Today? Yes. That's an interesting one. I'm curious. Obviously, he's 31, 32 years old. Doesn't really have much of a future in the organization or maybe even baseball. But, like, as a 31-year-old rookie last year, I thought he was solid. Like, I'm surprised he didn't give more of a shot.
Did you see his thread on Twitter?
I did. I was curious if you guys wanted me to read it or not. I know it's long, so I wasn't going to.
I think we could just paraphrase it, but like I was sitting in the middle of Magic Kingdom reading that over the weekend, and I was like, that kind of like really sucks for a guy like him who's probably had so much success before coming to the majors, and it just didn't work out.
Yeah, one of our pods, obviously on the network, Bell Smashers, had Mark Appel on their podcast a few weeks ago, and he kind of talked about basically what that thread was and what his first blog and his newsletter was. He basically talked about that at length. So I recommend anybody go check that out because that's exactly what he talked about for a majority of the show. Where he said every year he basically comes in assuming it's his last year in baseball because it kind of puts the weight off his shoulders. Like he's not constantly pressured into making the majors. He's like, all right, I'm going. This is my last year. Whatever happens, basically.
Yeah,
so, it's interesting.
How much did he sign a big contract too? Right when he got drafted by Houston.
Well, yeah, probably it was the number 1 overall pick. So I mean, baseball, you just give contracts to people for no reason. Look at Scott Kingery. You know what I mean?
Dude from Arizona just got paid too.
What dude is
Car-
that?
The rookie Corbin Carroll.
Oh,
Okay.
really?
Yeah, they paid him.
Did they just
He
drafted,
played
right?
though. Yeah, they drafted him a few years ago, but he was he played a little bit at the end of the year last year, and he's like their top. He's like I think he's the second or third best prospect, or the top prospect in the league. I think he's second. And they just gave him a ton of money, like 8 years,
Oh wow.
whatever. And
Yeah.
but I mean, at least Scott Kingery didn't see a pitch in the majors yet. At least this kid played like a
Right.
month.
Yeah.
But
They gave him $6.5 million. Houston.
Yeah.
And the Phillies gave him $99,000.
Well, was that in the Ken Giles trade?
Yeah. Yep.
We also got Vinny Velo in that deal, I believe,
Yep.
and
yeah.
then one more player. I forget who the third player was.
Well, what am I saying here? He was actually drafted by Pittsburgh, I think, the year before. He was like the 8th overall pick,
Oh, was he really?
and
I don't
he
know.
opted to go. Yeah, he opted to go back to
Stanford.
college. Yeah,
Hmm.
I'm pretty sure.
He's had a very interesting career. Obviously, a lot of downs, and kind of didn't really live up to the expectation that a number one overall pick should have. But he's definitely a positive dude. Really, really. I'm telling you, anybody go listen to the Bell Smashers podcast with him on it. It was insightful. It's very, very good
Yep.
stuff. And other,
For him.
yeah,
do.
totally,
Yeah,
totally. But like, I'm curious why they released him. Like, it's weird to me.
I think they have not a logjam, but I think they're very confident in their bullpen. Their bullpen is on paper supposed to be one of the better ones. Maybe they just think he doesn't. I don't think it hurts them if
No,
he's in
no,
the minors.
Yeah, no, I get it.
So
Yeah.
I think that they think that he doesn't. He's not going to make. I don't know. He's not going to make the major league roster. But again, I don't think it hurts with him being in the minors.
Well, I don't think they sent him down. I think they just flat out cut
That's what
him.
I'm saying. No, I know. I'm saying it's weird that they cut him. They could have
That's what
just
I
Right,
agree.
right.
I thought it was weird that they cut him instead of sending him down to AAA.
right. I don't know.
Unless they
Definitely
asked him
strange.
and it was mutual, or he said, "I don't want to go down there again."
Yeah.
Could have been.
Maybe they kind of did him a favor almost and said, "All right, we'll release you, still pay you whatever we owe you, and you could figure out the next chapter of your life." I guess I don't know, or maybe somebody else will pick him up. Who knows? Who knows what the future holds for Mark Capel. But
Yep.
you guys got anything Phillies want to talk about? I mean, we're just kind of waiting for the season to start. We've been hopped up, ready to go since November, basically.
It's fun when the off season is short, right?
Yep, absolutely.
And then they go out and sign one of the best free agents, best shortstops in the league. So,
Yep.
I'm so excited. It's weird that they start off in Texas though. They go to Texas and then they go to New York to the Yankees,
Yep.
and then they come home to I think Cincinnati maybe.
Yeah, Cincy.
It's opening day here. Yeah.
Yep.
I feel like they always play Cincinnati early for some reason.
Good. Play them early.
Yeah.
Yep, exactly. So, I know we talked about it. Dom, you weren't on the show last week, right? I know we talked about it a little bit. Scott Kingery revenge tour. Are we? How you feeling? Think he makes a team?
I don't know if it hurts them if he does. I mean, it's a guy that could play a little bit of everywhere, I guess, at a semi decent level.
And he's batting like 500 in spring. I feel like you got to give him a chance.
Well, that's the thing. Like, what does the roster look like without Harper? Or I guess, well, I don't know, do you count Harper? Harper's not on the roster, right?
Right,
He's
he
on the
doesn't count
IL.
because you're going to start him on the injured list, right?
So let's go through the roster. So you got
Derek Hall is your replacement, I would assume, for Bryce Harper. He's your DH, I would assume, right?
I think you could split time with him, Sosa, DH here and there if you like. Not regularly, but
Right.
Jake Cave.
wow, Japan. Yeah, Jake Cave. I think what's his face is gonna be on this roster too. Clemens.
You do? You think he's
Yeah,
gonna?
that's why.
I
Like,
think so.
I know me and Chris talked about last week. I don't know if Josh Harrison's like flat out making the team. He might not.
Yeah, I haven't paid enough attention to spring training.
He
Honestly,
hasn't been good, and the other guys have been
Right.
really, like J.K.'s playing really well.
Right.
Kingery's playing really well.
And Cave is an outfielder too. I think that really helps. Like I don't like have like it's that Phillies effect where it's like you play shortstop, oh you could play center field, or you play second base, you could play center field. Like so, I think it is important to have actual outfielders play the outfield.
Yeah.
So
You mean
That's true.
you don't like Odubel Herrera in center field?
no.
Former second
Isn't it
baseman?
so nice we don't have to see him anymore?
What do you think he's doing? Do you think he's
Did
still
anybody sign him or
getting
no?
there?
I don't know.
Did anybody sign him?
I don't know. I'm gonna look that up right now.
That's
I
what
just
I'm
saw
gonna look up.
that Cesar Hernandez, he might be in the Red Sox. He got a minor league deal, which is surprising because like yes, there were a lot of people that didn't love him here, but like as a Philly, he hit like almost 280. Like he was
Player.
on a good obviously they were he was on some terrible rosters, but like on a decent roster, like he's not that bad. Like I used to give him a lot of shit too, but like look at that Cleveland year, the year he was in Cleveland. I think he had a really, really good year.
Odubel is still unsigned, by the way. Who are we talking about?
Cesar Hernandez.
Cesar had some really nice. I thought he was a very like.
Detroit, Dom.
He's
What's
a
that?
very
Detroit. That's what it is.
he's
Yeah.
a very consistent bat. He was never spectacular, but I
No.
thought he was fairly reliable.
As I'm saying, he like as a Philly, he hit like 280. Like
Yeah.
like it you know, on like I'm saying on a good roster, he could be like a Gene Segura last year, where
Totally.
if he's your ninth hitter, eighth hitter, whatever it is, he's decent
I don't
enough
think-
defensively.
Yeah, I don't think he's as good of a defender as a defender as
Better. He's
as
a better
Gene.
player.
Yeah, I was
Yeah,
gonna
Gene's a
say,
better
yeah,
player.
right.
He was with the Phillies from 2006 to 2019.
Yep,
He got
Cesar?
Yeah, he got signed as a 16-year-old kid.
Yeah.
that's
By the
kind of
Phillies.
crazy. That's kind of crazy. That's nuts.
And he led the majors in bunt hits, infield hits,
There you
and
go.
triples.
I
Stat
think
guy.
he was the last Philly to hit. He might be the first Philly ever. I think it was they played the Cincinnati Reds on opening day in Cincinnati. It was like 2016. The first Phillies player ever to hit a home run on the first pitch of the season.
Oh, really?
It's a very specific stat.
He did
Yep.
have some pop in his bat sometimes too.
And I think he was the third Phillies player ever to hit a opening or the first at bat to hit a home run
in
like,
the
in the season. In the season, yeah, it was at the same time.
Interesting. So, all right, you guys got anything else you want to talk about? Flyers, Sixers, or are you guys ready to get out of here? Really
Real
not
quick with the
much.
Flyers.
Yeah, go
real
ahead.
quick.
Yep.
What have you been watching or?
Yeah, a little bit here and there. There.
How's this new kid look? Apparently, I'm watching highlights and
What kid?
Forrester
Forrester.
got a
He's
goal,
got
two
he does have
assists.
He does. He's involved in some plays. He's gonna have some growing pains. That's kind of what
Okay.
he is. I just like getting him the opportunity to play some games down the stretch.
Yeah.
Flyers games are meaningless. They've had like 3 points in the last 2 or 3 games, which I'm not a fan of. Lose more games, you gotta
Right.
lose. But no, he looks solid. He looks real solid.
And then what about this Cutter Gauthier, whatever his
I'm
name is?
I'm hearing mixed
Is
things.
he staying in college or?
I'm hearing mixed things, and his college season's been done for about a week and a half. I'm surprised he hasn't been signed yet, and that's making me think he's going to spend another year in college.
Yeah. But I think just from looking at the season, he had a pretty good year.
Really good year, freshman too.
Yeah. That maybe he could come right up and help the team
I
after,
think so.
especially after next year.
Oh yeah, totally. I think in the end of
Yeah, like
next
if he spends another year in college, I think
Yeah.
he could come right up and
I agree. I think he'll come up now and play and be productive.
yeah.
But I agree. One more year in college coming up at the end of next season, I think he could
Especially-
be a really good player.
the Flyers own his rights.
Yeah. So the way it
Yeah,
works
he
is
was the
when
first round pick last year.
when you get drafted, I forget exactly the rule. If you're a
3
college,
years, right?
I think is it 3 or 4.
Okay, it might be
I think
4.
I think you have it 4. I think if he stays all 4 years in college, then at the end of his college career, he goes in as a unrestricted free agent, gets to pick his team. It's very rare when that happens.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, what incentive does that give the team? Like, the team loses in that.
But most of these guys don't stay 4 years.
Right,
anyway.
exactly. Yeah, they kind of usually want to come in a year, 2, 3 tops. It's very rare when guys stay 4. But
it's kind of like basketball. I mean, basketball probably has way more 4-year players, but what was I going to say here? What is it? If he signs say hypothetically tomorrow, he wakes up and signs a contract with or it comes up to the Flyers. So what do they have? 3 years?
It's a 3-year entry level contract. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
From whenever.
I had another question too.
Yeah. It might slide into next year. Where next year might start it. I'm not exactly sure the breakdown of it. NHL contracts can get very confusing.
Yeah.
Sorry, Dom. Do you have another question?
No, I did, but I don't remember it.
Sounds about right.
Oh, what do you think about this Carter Hart stuff? Like
To trade him?
Yeah. Because my thought is, I know the
last week, Chris.
Yeah,
I think we did. Yeah.
Okay. I did listen to most of the show last week.
The question I asked,
but I don't think I got this far.
The question I asked was like, is any jersey unbuy? Like, should you feel safe to buy anybody's jersey right now? Like,
I think. Well, if I can answer that question without knowing what you said, because I did listen to most of the show last week. I think the only guys that I think you have a chance, and this was going to kind of lead to my point. Actually, I think it's Lawton. I think will be here. I think Lawton's a guy that'll be here.
Yeah,
I think the Provorovs, the Konechny's, those guys won't be here. But I think, like in the long term, I think Lawton will be here in the next 3, 4, 5 years.
Do you really think? I think there's a legitimate chance at next trade deadline. I think you flip Scott Lawton because I think you see the players that get traded at the deadline.
Yeah.
Those type of players, a Swiss Army knife, the guys that can be, pests to play against, the guys good on the forecheck, the grinders, so to speak, can fetch you a first-round pick plus at the trade deadline. And then the Flyers probably won't be competitive.
Oh, yeah, I'm buying that.
They won't be competitive next year. I think that's the perfect trade piece next trade deadline, personally.
What do you think about, what's his name? 86.
Farabee? I think they're holding on to Farabee because, this is the worst season he's had since he's come up here, but he's coming off of a major surgery.
I just meant more because of the Tortorella stuff.
Yeah, it's a young player going through growing pains. I think he'll be fine.
Yeah.
But back to your Carter Hart thing, I wouldn't trade him now.
Because honestly, like I know the team is in a lot different position than they were when Bobrovsky was here, but it's like everybody like all these people were so mad that the Flyers trade Bobrovsky. Now they want to trade Carter Hart. I don't like. You said for years how trading Bobrovsky was the wrong move, and now you're talking about trading Carter Hart. Like I don't know.
Yeah, and you look at the thing we talked about with Chris last week is you look at the history of goalies getting traded. And they don't get you a lot. The returns for goalies really aren't that great. Like Bobrovsky, I think they got a 3rd-round pick for him. It's you just don't get a lot for him. So the argument I hear is,
which is crazy.
It is nuts.
But one of the most important positions in sports.
But the problem is they're a crapshoot. You could plug them in, and a great player can just be bad.
Peter Mrazek.
It's just goaltenders are voodoo, and they just don't make any sense. It's hard to predict what they're gonna do. So that's why the returns on him aren't that great. So the one argument I hear is oh, well, he's the player that has the most value, and they aren't going to be good for, when he enters his prime anyway, which is false because, a goalie enters his prime in 27 years old. That's 3 years away from him still. They can still be competitive during his prime. So that's false. But who knows what, they won't get a haul, I don't think, is the argument I keep hearing is they're going to get a haul. I don't think they will. So I don't think anybody's untouchable. I would listen to offers on Carter Hart. I just don't think I would get an offer that would be worth trading him.
I hear you.
That makes sense.
What was going to kind of go into my next point too was I think this team can next year. I think they're especially because they fired Fletcher. I think next year you can go 0-82 and nobody I think people will be happy. But I don't think with this history, the history of the Flyers, I think the year after that you could be bad, but I don't think you could be that bad. But I think the year after that you're gonna really have to start trending upward, like
Sure.
and that's again the two or 3 years away from being 2 or 3 years away. Like
Yeah.
it sucks to say that because we've been saying that for 12 years,
Right.
but yeah, I think next year you can fucking suck, and then like no people are gonna be happy, and then the year after that you gotta like be a little bit better, and then after that you have to. I'm not gonna say you have to start competing, but you've gotta have a couple good players.
It is crazy that after all this, we're like back in phase 1 of the Hextall era. Like the Hextall, when Hextall came in, he was, get them out of cap hell and build up the farm system, draft well. That's essentially what they have to do. They have to get out of the cap situation they're in and rebuild in the draft. Hextall failed at doing that stuff, at least in the long term, and now they have to figure out a way to make that happen and succeed.
Did he fail or did Holmgren fail him? Because Holmgren kind of left him no money, and I actually thought that that Hextall really kind of drafted well in the sense that like they were always a top prospect team and they just couldn't develop. So like,
well, that's the thing. You don't know if it's on his drafting ability or if it's on the development team, because it could the chicken or the egg, right? Like which one is the reason why the guys didn't pan out. I thought he was, at times it looked like he was a very good drafter, but when you look at the guys to develop and, he just drafted a bunch of okay players. He didn't draft any superstar. He didn't find any diamonds in the rough. Like
he was a guy that we kind of saw was just very against bringing guys up. And maybe that's the reason, because they just weren't ready.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Possible. Totally. So, you guys got anything else? You ready to get out of here?
Yeah, I'm just excited for this championship game for World Baseball Classic.
When is the championship game?
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow,
huh?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because both the teams are they're playing in Florida, right?
Miami. Yeah,
Miami, and I think the United States was over in Phoenix, right? So they're both already in the United States.
Well, no. They
were in Miami
played
too.
They played they played the first half of their games, and then they played the last two in Miami. The Turner Grand Slam on what was that, Saturday, and then the two that he hit yesterday were both in Miami.
So they're already ready.
They're there.
Yeah, they're already here. Yep.
Yeah. So, all right, we're gonna get out of here. We'll see everybody next week. Check us out: Instagram, Facebook, Twitter at Phired Up Sports. Check out our website at firedupsports.com. A lot of good Phillies content going on right now, because the season's obviously starting. And listen, next week, Monday, episode 100. Everybody be there and tune in, and we will see everybody for that next week. See you guys later.